Okay, we're back. Gary's Coin Channel for the bankroll hunt of Lincoln pennies. A quick look at the end caps. Typical. Nothing really there. Brown. Let's see what we got. Okay, we're gonna get right to the unraveling here. Yeah, a couple of dark ones here. And that's a wheat penny. We like seeing that. Let's go roll this one. Do a quick preview. This is really not hunt. This is just a kind of a preview. We'll see. We'll go through these rolls. I think that was the wheat penny here. Put that on the microscope first. Start off on the right foot, and we're going to bring us into the microscope view. Make sure we're nice and centered. Check my end. Yeah, we're looking good. Alright. First of all, it's a 45. It's got a little bit of a spin damage and a chunk taken out of his shoulder. It's all PMD. Not from the mint. Typical 45 vintage wheat cent. A little off-centered, but nothing extreme going on. So this one we're just going to put aside for our recap when we're done. Let's move on. 64. A little sloppy Liberty there. Nothing really going on. Put that in the copper file. What else we got here? 78. A ratty 78. A lot of PMD. And the copper. 81. Copper. A lot of brown pennies on this pile, so maybe we'll get lucky here. But even in newer cents, you get some nice varieties. That's a 94. No good. 89 Denver. Nothing going on. 74 Philly. Nothing going on. 2000. Let's see if we got a wide AM. Nope. Close AM. 72. It's been a while since I found a 72 double die. That's what we want to look for in a 72 vintage. That's just copper. 76. And it's been a really long time since I found a 76 with that bicentennial stamp. It's a novelty coin, but it was fun finding it. If they did that for Cheerios or something, I don't know. But I sold it. I got a few bucks for it. 1870. Definitely, it's like a small date. Maybe that's typical for 70. Put it in there. 02. Nothing going on. Yeah, this 70 looks like a normal size 70. Could have been a small date. I don't know. I know 60s had them different years. I don't recall any real value to them. And if there is, somebody's gonna get it. 77. Look at that one. Haunting. It looks like a fire coin. 22. No die clash. Move on. Under 22. Nothing going on. 1984. Looks like a glue or something. It's odd how that four's punched hard like that. I don't see anything. But, you know, just because it had a little odd look to it, it's going on a scale. So 2.6, it's zinc. 07. Nothing going on. 88. Another glue coin. 17. Going on. 15. Nothing going on. 78 off center. Nothing going on. 15. Nothing going on. 88. Crack there at the bottom right of the building. Nothing special. 85. Nothing going on. Another 85. And nothing going on. A lot of nothing going on here. 22. Ratty. 18. Nothing going on. 14. Vertical woody striated. And unless it looked like Venetian blinds up. It's different. I'm just gonna leave this one be. It, you know, not very common, but going back to the bank. 94. Nothing going on. 2011. '22. It's not die clash. Looks like damage. To the bank. 2000. Let's see if we got a wide AM. Nope. It's a close AM. Nothing there. 2013. There. 22. Nothing there. 72. Off to copper. 95. Yeah. Nothing there. 69 Denver. Yeah, look for that floater. And definitely not. Full date, initials visible, fully attached. Off to copper. 91. There's something going on with that ear. It's nothing. 1880. Nothing there. 83. Off center a little bit into the rim. The collar. Just check for weight. Oop, scale went off. On scale. That's 2.5. Zinc. 2010. The first year of the shield. Nothing there. 96. Parking lot coin. 83. It's probably zinc. Whoop, get back here. 2.5. It's zinc. Let's see what we got here. 66. Off to copper. 82 small date. And I'll throw it on the scale. It's zinc. There we go. Another wheat. 53 Denver. See any issues? Typical with that vintage. Everything's clean. We'll put it aside for our recap. Oh, excuse me. Well, there's coin hunting. Well, I'm looking at the back already. 95. Scratch. 03. Yeah, the woodiness going on. This is 03. Nothing crazy. Let it go. 17. Philly. It's junk. 05. Nothing going on. 23. No extra V. 99. And 99. had to let the cat in. Uh, Close AM. 73. PMD. That's post-mint damage. But you guys knew that. Thought I saw a spike head 94. It's got the little cladding chatter on the building, but not really worth anything. And then the O and 1 cent. Look at that. 75. Copper. O2. Nothing going on. 99. Some glue. And close AM. O2. Little striated. Nothing really serious going on. 21. Nothing going on. 15. That looks like that's PMD damage. Crap. Let's see this one. 1990. Nothing going on. 21. Nothing there. 13. Nothing going on. 95. And the poor man's doubling. It's typical. A little bit of angled woody on this one. And more chatter on the building. And, it's a little bit heavier than normal. But that's basically all it is. It's not a double die, it's just cladding chatter. That's what I call it. You guys call it something else. It's like when the coin was struck, the cladding had a chatter, a little shake, the ripple of water. It's so cheesy. It's actually more than normal. And the head, it's got nice woody features. It's in good quality, a higher quality. And this would be a good icon coin, talking about the poor man's doubling for the mid 90s vintage coins with this horrible cladding feature on it. This would be a really good example to show somebody. Say, yeah, this is a poor man's doubling. This is like, I don't know, I'm just gonna put it aside. It's like an icon coin, if that makes any sense. It really has no value other than that. I don't think I get anything for it. 59. Let's see. No mule. I want to see that 59 with those weeds on the back. It's first year of the memorial set. It's no doubt copper. It was always fun to see. The 59. It's like an iconic coin too, being it's the first year of the memorial. Um, it's in really good shape or has some sort of issue. It really has no value. They're just nice to look at. 3D. Someone will like it. Someone gets my copper, bulk copper. So it's in there. 84. Oh. Another 84. I'll tell you, you guys are old enough to remember the 80s. When they made cars in the United States, the quality was horrendous. Whoa! Look at that, popped up. Talking about the cars in the 80s, and look what pops up. 1917. What a beauty. Out of nowhere. I don't see too many wheats from the teens in these bankrolls. And here's one. It's got a nice, let's say, a bottle cap edging, but definitely has an interesting, rim on there. The collar. Very interesting. But yeah, seen a 1917 pop up. Yeah, nice hard strike on this coin too. Does it hold the value? Yeah. Maybe it could be worth a quarter to somebody. 10 cents. It was fun seeing it come out of a bankroll. Alright, we'll put you aside. Like I said, you start talking about how the cards were made cheesy in the 80s, and so were the coins. And then that pops up. I didn't plan that. 67. Yeah, cars are horrible. Yeah, think about the K car. Chrysler. Yeah, they rattled out of the factory. Plastic falling off everywhere. And no power at all. It was horrible. 63. Every car, even like Camaros and Roadrunners and everything was garbage. I don't know what happened. But yeah, we were in a hot mess with cars back in the 80s. Even in the late 70s. 2016. And then things improved later, but what a horrible time, the 80s. And with the coins. All junk. Everybody's trying to go cheaper with this, cheaper with that. Well, cheaper shows. 21. Alright. Back to the coins. 6. Yeah, that 17 threw me for a little curveball. Do me a little curveball. I'd rather, see something with more value to it, but you know what? It was fun. That's what we're here for, right? It's fun. 92. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes these can be a little difficult to tell But this is definitely a wide AM, um, which we want the close on a 92. But you look at the distance between the the A and the two T's. They're consistent, as well as the FG is closer to the building. It's going to give you a wide AM, and then you have the space. But sometimes it could be misleading, or can't make it out right. But this is not the one we want. 2020. They catch a few bucks at 92, close to AM. '03. Not a bright coin. '03. Yeah, let's look at it good. Make sure. This is really not an old coin. It's in really good shape. Get that little bit of staining would come right off in electrolysis. Uh, I don't see any issues. Really nice sharp coin. Nice toning too. So whenever you see a coin like this, really look at it. Make sure you're not missing anything. But there's nothing here. So back to the bank. 21. Alright, we got a Centennial. '09. Let's see which one. I'm going to say Lincoln reading the book. Nope. Didn't get that one right. The Log Cabin. See any issues here? It's going to go into the copper collectors pile over there. Somebody will appreciate it. 82. Let's just check the weight on that. And it's copper. Into the copper pile. '07. Oh. 81. The copper. '06 parking lot coin. Alright, getting down to the nitty gritty here. 1990. No issues. '01. Nothing going on. 95. More 4-man doubling. That T shows it up. Yeah. Nothing really special. Back to the bank. Oh, another Centennial. '09. Let's see. I'll get this one right. This one's the Capitol being built. Yep. I didn't peek. See any issues here? No. No. Well, this one checks out. It's clear. Um, I need to see a nice cut on this coin. That would put it on. You know, I've seen these with cuts. So none here. Alright, into the copper collectibles. 23. And it's a runaway V on the bottom. The unicorn. It's taken off. Nothing there. Ugh. Came from somebody's ashtray. 98. And it's a close AM. You're out of here. 15. Nothing. And the last one, 17 Philly. Well, alright, so little recap. We got, well, 1970, I was going to say 27, 1917. What's that, 108 years old? Yeah. Got the 17. We got a 45 with damage. And we got the 53 Denver. A typical wear for that vintage. And then we got the 95 poor man's double. It's not really worth anything, but this is a really good specimen to show what a poor man's double is. I might list it as such. I don't know. This is gonna be one of those coins that just sit on eBay for months and just don't do anything. I mean, it's actually, if you look, it's in fairly decent shape. Does it have value? No. I mean, in my opinion, it really doesn't. Nothing special about it. I mean, if you look at the natural toning, it's actually nice shape. It's actually got a nice luster to it. I mean, it's not terribly old, 10 years old, but I could list it as a poor man's double and just say, you know, it's what they look like. So we'll put that aside. We're gonna hold on to it. I'm not gonna rush to put it up on eBay, but it's there. My bucket of I gotta check these out. You do any coin hunting or bankroll hunting? You know exactly what I'm talking about. End up collecting all these coins. 24 grease strike. I mean, look, and then I got a drawer full of stuff I'm selling. But, yeah, that's the way it goes. If you look at yeah, 24. I got die crack. I mean, it starts getting crazy. And then I got a whole pile I got on eBay. So, look at this. What do we call this one? It's just an odd 63. I put aside. Oh, yeah, probably because of the grease strike. Struck through grease. Oh yeah, it's it could have been sandblasted. It could be post-mint damage. Who's to say for sure? Somebody said, let's sandblast a nickel, see what happens. I don't know. It kind of looked neat. It's very ghostly appearance. That's why I put it aside. I mean, coins don't necessarily have to have, these major errors and this and that. I mean, sometimes just looking at a coin and it's got eye appeal, you know, like this one. I honestly think, just the fact if you were born at 63 and or you believe in ghosts or what have you, I don't know. That's the way I look at it. I'm a true and true coin collector. I've actually bought coins off eBay just because I like the way they looked. Even if it's a Barber half dollar with the with really sharp toning. It's not a key date or anything. It just really looked nice. And I do that. A coin looks, if it's attractive, it has that value to me. And there's a lot of people that they'll buy a coin due to its toning, rainbow toning or all the above. And some people just don't care. They just want the valuable, you know, dates and all that. But there's a lot of people that do care about actual, aesthetics of a coin. Hope that made sense. All right, that's number 2, I believe, for today. I mean, it was a better hunt. Nice 17. Got a 17 out of that. And let's do it again. I'm gonna stop this, and if you like my videos, just hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. I'd like to see come back. And if you have any comments, say something. I mean, I love it. I mean, I've been a coin geek since since I can remember, actually. It's probably the mid 60s. 65, 66. When silver dimes started showing up with cladding on it, and we're all like, wow, look at that. And little did we know that everything else in our pockets and on the table were all silver. And even back in the late 60s, you always saw a lot of silver and coins like standing Liberty quarters and Mercury dimes and all kinds of good stuff would be in pocket change. Not so much standing Liberties, but you know what I'm saying. Mercury dimes, you would see Mercury dimes quite often. And then wheat pennies, half your pennies were wheat pennies or more. So it was a good time to be collecting coins when I was a kid. And I still have that same affection, which is odd. Not odd, I think it's, coins are cool. Anyway, if you got a comment, hit me up below. I'd like to hear from you. And, subscribe. And, see more of my stuff. And, who knows? I might get that lucky 83 with the copper. Or, I'm going to keep trying. I'll keep looking. I'll see you later.